We go. Hello and welcome to Opinions and Beer. I'm your host, Adam. We have Ed Ray 1416.
Hello.
Ed Ray, today we have a fun episode. It's wrestling. It's wrestling time. It doesn't feel like wrestling time because of all the madness happening in the world right now. But it is indeed time for WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania season. Now, Ed Ray, I originally had something planned for this episode. I think I'm gonna save that, and maybe we should do some. Maybe I'm out of a job. I'm out of a job right now, and so maybe Sunday we could do a live stream for. I'm gonna live stream on YouTube for maybe Saturday and Sunday we could live stream during WrestleMania. If we can do some of those, we can do some segments during those live streams on YouTube and whatnot. So listeners out there, find us on YouTube because we're going to be doing, if you like wrestling, we're going to be doing some live streaming wrestling segments on YouTube for WrestleMania. That sound good, Ed Ray?
Yeah.
However, we are keeping it in theme this week. This week is all wrestling, WrestleMania weekend. So we're going to start off, Ed Ray, with the beer of the day. And today's beer of the day is El Segundo. El Seguando's it's Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA by El Seguando's Brewing Company. It is 6.7% in alcohol by volume. Broken Skull Indian Pale Ale, a badass 6.7 IPA designed by Steve Austin and El Segundo Brewing Company for this working man and woman. It features Citra, Cascade, and Chinook hops to deliver big flavor with an easy finish. Now stop reading and start enjoying this awesome beer. Cheers. This better be a good beer, and that's the bottom line.
Otherwise, you're going to have to give Stone Cold a Stone Cold Stunner.
Exactly. I'm going to crack this bad boy open. Oh, Ed Ray, can you believe that Stone Cold came up with a beer?
Well, that's because he loves beer so much. He's more of a beer enthusiast than you are.
Did you see when I first posted? When we posted the Opinions and Beer Twitter account, posted that we purchased the beer, and Stone Cold responded with a cheers. Stone Cold himself replied to Opinions and Beer. You know what that means, Ed Ray? That means Stone Cold Steve Austin knows that the Opinions and Beer podcast exists in this world.
Question is, are you going to get 1 million downloads?
Am I making it? No. Maybe one day. We try to get
after this podcast, you'll get his attention.
Perhaps. So I'm pouring this beer. It's got a nice little head on that. Oh, look, it's disappearing sometimes. There we go. Right there. Be sure to get the can in there. I have to put it right in front of my face. That way it doesn't.
Oh, El Segundo. Yeah, you had a tough time reading that one. El Segundo.
Yeah, Brewing Company. Broken Skull IPA. Now I'm gonna. It smells rather great. It smells like the best IPA in the world. This may be. Let's try this beer. You know what, Ed Ray? The style of IPA is actually the style that I don't really like usually. But the way they brewed this one, it's like literally right there on the cuff of it. Like when I say the style, I mean there's certain flavors in there that I taste that are usually in IPAs that I don't like. However, this beer is done so smooth and it's not overly bitter that those flavors are actually decent. Those flavors are pretty good in this beer. I mean, this is a solid drinkable beer. I mean, the hops are there just enough, and just the the more earthy flavor that I'm getting from it is it's subtle, but it overpowers the hops comparatively when these kinds of IPAs, the hops overtake that earthiness, and it makes it taste like bitter dirt, where this tastes like it tastes like good dirt. Good. Ed Ray, I'm going to give this a solid 8.5 out of 10.
You hear that, Stone Cold Steve Austin?
8.5 out of 10. This is probably the best. This is one of the best rated beers I've rated in the last month or two.
See, Stone Cold, you
So
can get a good rating for your beer.
So I think 8.5 is pretty solid. Maybe a 9. It might be a 9. I'm gonna bounce between 8.5 and 9 because this is really good. I'm probably gonna buy. This is one of those beers where not only is it fridge stock beer like a previous IPA we've had on the show, you know, where you keep it in your fridge. This is like a really good. It's like, do I have this or this? Like, this is like I save it for special occasions, and you know, I try to save it for as long as possible while keeping it stocked up in the fridge. I actually bought half the store that got some in. They were the only store that got in the Broken Skull IPA, and they bought one case, and I bought half their case. So some people went there looking for it, and they only found one 6-pack or one 4-pack left. I'm like, I'm sorry, I bought half of it. I bought most of the beers. I bought like all of it. So now hopefully they get more in. Hopefully they see that there's a big demand for it. Because I'm definitely gonna stock up. I'm gonna have to go by there and see if they got more and stock up. So Ed Ray, we were originally going to go over and talk about the top 10 WrestleManias of all time. But I think we're going to hold off on that. We're going to make this whole week WrestleMania. We might do some extra episodes on non-podcast days and whatnot, and just we'll have to come up with something. Like I said, more of the, you know, Saturday, Sunday. We might do an off episode on Saturday, and then obviously Sunday's a regular episode. Usually, we might make Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We might just make an entire WrestleMania weekend podcast event out of it, and just we'll produce content the whole weekend. Obviously, this episode is airing Thursday, so that means we have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday episode to do. Saturday and Sunday will be live streamed. Friday, we may pre-record Friday's episode. Really depends on what happens tomorrow and the rest of the week. What's today? Today's Tuesday. Usually we post an episode on Tuesdays, but this episode is being posted Thursday. Okay, good stuff. Anyways, Ed Ray, instead, we are going to rank and rate. I have a tier. Can you see my screen?
I can see the screen.
Okay, we are going to rate and place on tiers the because I have Stone Cold Steve Austin's beer. We are going to rate Stone Cold Steve Austin's WrestleMania matches, all 7 of them. Did you know he's only had 7 WrestleManias?
It's only because Stone Cold didn't have enough time to wrestle for a whole lot of WrestleManias because of that stupid neck injury he got from Owen Hart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It made him retire in 2003 because had it not been for that injury, Stone Cold would have wrestled up until 2009.
That is true. I often think about what would have happened had Stone Cold been able to been able to just keep going. I mean, like, what do you think would have happened had he not left the company and went against Brock Lesnar back in SummerSlam instead of The Rock?
Well, would have been pretty good. I mean, a SummerSlam match would not be sufficient. I'd have to say if Stone Cold didn't walk out in 2002, it would have been a good long build to WrestleMania 19. That should have been the match right there.
Well, you see, he admitted that he walked out because they wanted to put. It wasn't supposed to be The Rock versus Brock Lesnar. That was supposed to be the Mania match. So they had to replace The Rock. They replaced Stone Cold with The Rock, and so they had The Rock face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam instead. And then obviously that kind of started rubbing The Rock the wrong way, and that's when he started leaving to do movies, and that's when we got Stone Cold versus The Rock in Stone Cold's no. Yes, Stone Cold's final no. I was gonna say it's Stone Cold's final match, but that was yes, it was. Yeah, The Rock. He WrestleMania. The Rock faced. What was it? The Rock faced Hulk Hogan, and then the next year he faced Stone Cold for the last time, and then he retired for a lengthy. He retired after facing Goldberg. He went and faced Goldberg at Backlash. He retired for a very lengthy amount of time. He came back. He wrestled the tag team match against Evolution at WrestleMania 20, and then we never seen him again, except for making fun of Umaga for WrestleMania 23, and then that was about it. And then you seen him come back to face John Cena. But anyways, that's some fun history talking about. Anyways, let's get to ranking these Stone Cold Steve Austin matches. First up, we have his first match at WrestleMania 12. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Savio Vega. Ed Ray, where would you place that match? Would you give it a grade superior, A, B, C, or D? And the S is for superior, and then you have a grade of A to D.
Oh, I got to give that match a D.
Give it a D. You're saying his first WrestleMania match was not that good?
Well, because of Savio Vega, he's a piece of crap in the ring. He's not believable. He was not a believable opponent for Stone Cold, believe it or not.
I don't really know much about him. What led up to this feud?
Well, I really don't know much about it either, but from what I understand, Savio Vega was part of the Bone Street crew, which was a counter to the Clique back in the 1990s. And Savio Vega was getting a mega push back in 1995, but the crowd was not having any of it. So basically, Vega was reduced to mid-card, and obviously Stone Cold didn't have a credible opponent at WrestleMania 12, so that's why I put that on the bottom.
Oh, it was King of the Ring.
Oh, this was back in 1996. Yeah, incidentally, Savio Vega was getting pushed at the 1995 King of the Ring just to lose to King Mabel.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So this was Stone Cold's first feud, and it was a terrible one.
Oh, look, he beat him.
This was before Stone Cold had his first knee injury.
Did Stone Cold have this is before Stone Cold's promo?
Yeah. His promo was at King of the Ring when he won it.
Oh, so he wins. He didn't win this match though. Look. Oh.
That's why you don't make assumptions.
That's crazy. What? We're live. I know. You seen her? Okay, let me pause. I can't pause the fucking recording. 1 second, Edwin.
Well, while this is going on, folks, one thing I considered Stone Cold was that after his feud with Savio Vega came to an end, everything would be all right.
Recording. Okay, Ed Ray. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to. I don't know. I'm gonna edit that, but I'm gonna try at some point. Because I know we're using a different way to record right now. Anyways, so yeah, dude. That's so King of the Ring. So I guess he beats Savio Vega at King of the Ring. He wins King of the Ring, and then I guess they conclude their feud at WrestleMania. Is that what happened?
I think it went on after WrestleMania into King of the Ring, and it was just a mess.
Oh, WrestleMania was before King of the Ring?
Yeah, didn't you know that?
No, my bad. I thought that. I guess I did not know. That was okay. Yeah. So WrestleMania happens. He beats Vega. Their feud continues. Into King of the Ring. Stone Cold. He wins King of the Ring, and then I guess he goes on to feud with. Does he feud with Shawn Michaels next?
Well, he feuded with Bret Hart first.
Oh, okay. So that was 12. So WrestleMania 13. Here we are. He goes into a feud with Bret Hart after that. Him and Bret Hart have what many consider one of the best matches, if not the best matches in WrestleMania history, and that was Stone Cold versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. What would you rate this match on this board right here? Superior.
Obviously, it's got to go to Superior. I mean,
Superior.
What match can top that?
I don't know. I think that's a fair point, Ed Ray. It's
Well, think about it. This was Stone Cold's only 5-star match in WWE because you had a compelling storyline, a great build-up to the feud. It was an intense match, and the story was being told excellently.
And it's one of the
even add to that, Stone Cold turned into a tweener instead of an outright heel, while Bret Hart evolved from a babyface and then turned heel.
Yeah, so I mean, this is one of the only times I can remember where a successful double turn has happened.
This feud was so hot that Bret Hart wanted to drop the title to Stone Cold at Survivor Series 1997, but that wasn't the case because of Shawn Michaels.
Oh, geez. Do you remember any other time where a double turn happened that was as successful?
I think Jake Roberts versus the Honky Tonk Man at WrestleMania 3.
Oh, so it's been, but I mean, this is WrestleMania 13, so that's 10 years. So it took 10 years for them to recreate something like that in a modern setting, and the modern crowd, the slowly became more and more. I feel like crowds became harder and harder to please as time went on.
That's because the crowd got themselves sobered and smartened up for the business.
Oh,
because they were on drugs when Hulk Hogan was wrestling.
Okay, they were like, "Yeah, I'm on acid, man. Thank you, Hulk Hogan. I'm a real American." Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Then 1991. Whoa, Bret Hart is so good. Why was I cheering for Hulk Hogan again?
And then when do they? When does this happen? Is this 96?
WrestleMania 13 was in 1997.
Oh, 97. My bad. So 97, they're like, "Oh, F Bret Hart. Bret Hart's Canadian. We want an American badass." No pun intended for the Undertaker. Do you see that? Do you see that Undertaker's going to be, it looks like he's going to be the well, not American Badass, but maybe Big Evil when he faces AJ Styles?
Let's hope it's a good match.
Yeah, well, it's going to take place in a graveyard. It's not going to take place in a ring. It's going to take place off-site in a graveyard.
All right.
That's interesting. Anyways, moving on, and then the following year, I believe it was the following year, Stone Cold, he's red hot. He just became babyface. He goes, I guess Bret Hart leaves at, was that SummerSlam or Survivor Series? Bret Hart. When does Bret Hart leave the company?
Survivor Series 1997 because of the Montreal Screwjob.
See? Okay, so 97. So then 98 rolls around, and Shawn Michaels about to leave because he's being a pompous. And so we have Stone Cold Steve Austin take on Shawn Michaels in what many thought to believe Shawn Michaels' last match. Is that right?
Up until 2002 because of Shawn Michaels' back injury and drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. If Shawn Michaels did not have that back injury, then he would have been dead by 1999 because of all the drugs that he took.
So where do you rank this match? This Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels?
A C.
A C? Oh, you didn't like it?
It was a passable match. I mean, the story was okay, but Shawn Michaels being in pain and wrestling with a back injury and being doped up because of it, it really didn't make the wrestling match look credible. It was only good because Stone Cold won his first WWE title.
So next up we have the first time that The Rock and Stone Cold went against each other. Where would you rate that match? I really don't remember. Which match was it that The Rock sold the stunner like so crazy where they hopped in the air?
I have to say WrestleMania 17.
It was the 17 match. Was that their first? That was their first encounter. I can't remember what their first encounter was.
Their first encounter in general was back in 1997 when Stone Cold was fighting for the Intercontinental Championship.
Let's see. They wrestled at 17, 19, and did they wrestle at 18 or 16?
15, 17, 19.
Oh, they did 15, 17, 19. Okay. So WrestleMania 15. Where would you rate that?
I guess it's going to have to be a B.
A B? Okie dokie. WrestleMania. And then we got WrestleMania 15 as a B. Stone Cold Steve Austin faced off against The Rock at WrestleMania 15. This was a no disqualification match. Mankind was the special guest referee for the match. Austin was able to defeat The Rock to win the title. This came after plenty of interference from Vince McMahon. Oh, no!
And that is the reason why the first confrontation was not as eventful as, let's say, 19.
Well, is that when Stone Cold turned heel?
No.
Oh, I thought Stone Cold. I thought Stone Cold became like Vince McMahon's friend or whatever?
That was 17.
Damn. Then why did Vince McMahon help Stone Cold win in that? Let's see. Stone Cold Steve Austin faced off against The Rock at WrestleMania 17. This was a no disqualification match for the WWF Championship. Stone Cold ended up winning after about 28 minutes. The show ended with Stone Cold shaking hands with Vince McMahon. But Vince McMahon, I guess, helped him win twice? Or was Vince McMahon trying to help The Rock win in the first time?
He was trying to help The Rock win in the first time. That was why it was not such a good thing because of the constant interference and constant skull bashing, etc.
Oh. So where do you rank their second matchup at?
Well, that's a tough one, but I guess I'm going to have to give it an A because it was better than the first confrontation.
And then we see the next time we see Stone Cold at Mania, they take a break from fighting each other, and Stone Cold faces off against Scott Hall, while The Rock faces off against Hulk Hogan. I think the original plans were supposed to be the opposite. Is that right?
Yeah, but Hogan didn't want to do the job for Stone Cold, and Stone Cold didn't want to do the job for Hogan.
Well, why
You know
did
how
Hogan?
Hogan's an egotistical piece of crap.
But why did Hogan want to do the job for The Rock?
I guess because he saw charisma in The Rock, and he had connections with The Rock's family, so I guess he wanted to do a time-honored tradition for him rather than a rattlesnake.
You know what? But at the end of the day, I think The Rock and Hulk Hogan, they have I think they have a more similar style of wrestling, where it's very thematic. I don't know if Stone Cold would have done well with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, but Stone Cold's star power was far higher than Hulk Hogan's ever was.
Yeah, that is true.
Because if it wasn't for Stone Cold, then WWE would have gone bankrupt.
I believe. Yeah. That's true. That's too true. But so where would you rank this match with him and Scott Hall though?
C.
Give that a C right here. Now should we is it better than the Shawn Michaels match or worse?
They're both the same.
Oh, the same? Okay, so it doesn't matter where you put them. Okay. And then we have Stone Cold's final match. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock in the third encounter at Mania. At WrestleMania 19. Stone Cold Steve Austin faced against The Rock at WrestleMania 19. This was their third and final WrestleMania match against each other. The Rock ended up winning after about 18 minutes. This was the final WrestleMania match of Stone Cold's career and final match of his career, I do believe, I think they might count him fighting Eric Bischoff on Raw or something. I think he might have fought him on Raw once, but my memory's faded, Ed Ray. I have a bad memory. I've come
That's
to
what
terms.
happens when you drink so much beer.
Yeah, says you. So where would you rank Stone Cold's final match against The Rock at WrestleMania 19?
It's got to be an A.
Got to be an A. Is it better or worse than their second encounter?
I'd have to say it's better because there's a clean ending this time.
Okay.
There are no chair shots. It's a pure wrestling match. Tells a great story.
Is that crazy that technically both of Stone Cold's both matches where Stone Cold won, there were shenanigans in place, and then the match where The Rock won, it was clean?
Oh, yeah, it was Stone Cold's only clean loss in WWE.
Oh, really? Jeez. You think you'd have
wait a minute. It was his first clean loss since Bret Hart pinned him in Survivor Series 1996.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was say. Him. How there's not that many wrestlers that have these lengthy, no clean loss, victory type things. Like Undertaker, for the longest time, he never lost. He would never lose clean. It was always like a dirty tactic if he lost, until Brock Lesnar squashed him. So I guess that was the tipping point where Undertaker could lose clean is if Brock Lesnar squashes you, then you can lose clean to people. I don't know. Has Randy Orton ever beat Taker clean at non WrestleManias?
Could have been on a SmackDown before, but I can't remember.
I know I can't remember either. I feel like, I've been rewatching a bunch of old wrestling, Ed Ray, especially JBL. JBL was kind of a boring wrestler, but he was in some crazy matches.
Well, there's only one match that comes to mind, and it's JBL versus the Blue Meanie. Especially when JBL gets his skull bashed in by Stevie Richards.
Dude, you know how much, JBL is in he's in the most bloodiest matches of WWE history. I mean, just
whether it was his own match with the Blue Meanie or his match against Eddie Guerrero.
yeah, him. Actually, I was I'm thinking that he went against Eddie Guerrero. He did that nasty. There was that nasty spot with the chair, and I think it was a bad blade job. They said it might have been.
Well, it wasn't just a bad blade job for Eddie Guerrero, but he also suffered a concussion from that match.
Dude, yeah, it was a nasty shot with the chair, and like he's just sitting there gushing blood. He's gushing blood the entire match. The entire ending of the match it felt really long. The bleeding. What's crazy is I think that match actually Eddie Guerrero. It's funny. It goes down in history as like the most blood spilt in a match for WWE. That Eddie Guerrero, and which is crazy to me. That then again, JBL got busted up at the end too, so they're both bleeding. But I mean, that's the number one most blood spilt. You know what number two was? It was a year later when JBL faced off against John Cena.
In that I Quit match.
In the I Quit match, that's the second. Apparently that was the second most blood spilt in a WWE match. So that was back-to-back years at Judgment Day. JBL's involved in the two highest blood loss matches in WWE history. Is that nuts? And then after that is like it was like Triple H and Cactus Jack at No Way Out 2000. So I think it's just crazy. I can't believe like JBL is just I guess he's just so mean. He's just such a mean wrestler.
Yeah, and that's why he got his lights punched out a couple of times.
Jeez. What's some of your? I guess let's talk about our ranking here is done. We ranked. Here's our ranking for Stone Cold Steve Austin's matches. Number 1, best Stone Cold Steve Austin match is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. Followed by Stone Cold versus The Rock at WrestleMania 19. And then Stone Cold versus The Rock at WrestleMania 17. And then Stone Cold versus The Rock at 15, right? Yeah. And then Stone Cold versus Scott Hall. And then Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels. And then worst match in Stone Cold's WrestleMania career, the very first Mania that he was at, and that's Stone Cold versus Vega. Are you what's your thoughts about Mania so far, Ed Ray? Let's give our
well the fact that it's being taped and there's going to be multiple locations in 2 days and no crowd at all. I mean, it's going to be impossible to get engaged in that kind of wrestling event.
Yeah, I don't know. It's 2 days, but it's too short. A lot of people are liking it because it's going to be 2 short events. Let's look at the matches they got planned. Jesus, they got 16 matches planned.
Well, I know Goldberg versus Roman Reigns won't happen because Roman Reigns confirmed that he backed out.
Yeah, we got to replace some of these need to be updated. This Wikipedia has not updated. Let's do WrestleMania 36 matches update.
Yeah, because they've had to constantly update.
Let's see.
All right, matches revealed. Update on matches.
Oh, they have not confirmed. Nobody's confirmed Braun Strowman. It looks like it's just rumored.
If Braun Strowman wins the Universal Championship, we should riot.
But look, they're saying that it's still not that people are just speculating Braun Strowman, that it's not a guarantee that it's going to be Braun Strowman.
Well, let's hope it's not, because he deserves a backlash for what he said on social media about independent wrestling.
So we have so who do you think is going to win? Roman Reigns replacement or Goldberg?
Goldberg, obviously, because he's not going to drop the belt to anybody. He has to drop it to Roman Reigns.
How crazy is that like Bill Goldberg gets an extra month as champion because of coronavirus.
They might as well save the Goldberg versus Roman Reigns match for SummerSlam.
Or when this is over. We don't know when this is going to be over. Or I hopefully, let's say SummerSlam. Hopefully SummerSlam, all this is over. They can do Goldberg versus Roman Reigns. You know what? That sounds like a SummerSlam match anyways. If you think about it, spear versus spear, that's very summery and kind of hokey. It's very it's kind of like the Icon versus, it's kind of like, Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels, Icon, all those weird matches they do at SummerSlam.
Well, let's hope when Roman Reigns versus Goldberg finally happens that Roman Reigns doesn't oversell like Shawn Michaels.
Right. I still think that's the funniest shit. When Shawn Michaels would oversell for Hulk Hogan, it pissed Hulk Hogan off so bad. He like, what the fuck you doing?
We don't see too much overselling nowadays.
That's just funny. Anyways, we got the Raw Women's title match, which may, because Roman Reigns is being replaced, that may headline Saturday night, they think. Shayna Baszler versus Becky Lynch. Who do you think has got that match? I'm hoping Shayna Baszler wins. But I just don't know if they're going to switch. I don't know if they're going to do title changes at Mania, dude. I don't know if anyone.
Because with no crowd, I mean, what's there to celebrate?
So I just don't know. I hope Shayna Baszler wins, but yeah, they may.
She may win by a count out or disqualification.
Oh, I could see a DQ finish. Like if she bites her or something or keeps punching her because she's like a UFC fighter or whatever, or she's supposed to be some kind of fighter, and so she's going to keep punching her.
Or kick Becky below the belt because Becky's the man.
that would be pretty funny. Then we have the Firefly Funhouse match. John Cena versus The Fiend. Now this is being filmed off location, and this is one of the many matches that are going to be filmed off location. Who's winning this?
I'm gonna have to say Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, these
This could be the best match for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think a lot of these off location matches, I think they're gonna be what makes this WrestleMania special. I think all the regular matches are gonna be dull. Maybe John Cena versus The Fiend should close Saturday. Wouldn't that make sense to have all just like the regular in-house matches go on and then have like the specialty match close, just so it's like it ends on a cinematic note instead of just ending with no crowd. I think they should end WrestleMania with these specialty matches. So I think John Cena and The Fiend should close Mania, to be honest.
All right.
Anyways, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins.
Wish this feud died several months ago. I mean, it's so annoying to watch.
Hey, but Kevin Owens had a pretty awesome promo on Raw, though.
Yeah, I mean, these two are cutting good promos, but I mean, this thing's just gone on for too long.
It really has.
There's no proper build to it. I mean, if there was a proper build to it, then I'd be accepting of it. But every time these two have faced each other in the ring, it's either a clean loss for Kevin Owens on TV when that shouldn't be happening. I mean, neither of these people should be losing clean on television. WWE don't believe in protecting their wrestlers anymore. That's the problem. That's why they get buried so much.
Why do you think they don't believe in that anymore?
I don't know, but if you can't protect your wrestlers by having a screwy finish on television that builds interest, then it's going to mean nothing by the time the blow-off match occurs.
I guess not. Sunday. It looks like Sunday night's going to have the most matches. So Saturday must be like just like the random matches. It looks like they just have like 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 4 matches on Saturday scheduled, and then they have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have like all the matches scheduled. Jesus, they have like every match in the world scheduled for Sunday. They need to throw some more matches over Saturday night's way. Unless Firefly Funhouse is going to be an hour-long match.
Firefly Funhouse could be an hour-long match. It could be the best one.
Yeah. Sunday night. I hate they're listing them. These best matches. The worst. Anyways, Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar. I think Brock Lesnar might win. I think they might keep Brock Lesnar champion. I think Drew McIntyre should win. If there's anyone to pull the trigger on right now, it's Drew McIntyre, especially with that Rocky trailer promo that he did, where they went and filmed that Rocky segment. That shit was good. Even your brother Ed Ray loved watching that. And he knows nothing about wrestling, but he watched the Drew McIntyre video package where he's doing the whole Rocky training to fight Brock Lesnar. Anyways, what are your thoughts on this match?
As much as I want Drew McIntyre to win, sadly, it's going to have to stay on Brock Lesnar because, again, there's no crowd. I mean, if you're going to have Drew McIntyre win with no crowd, that's not a good storytelling.
Well, you see, they have ideas to live stream the crowd, where they're going to have people you can like tune in and live stream yourself reacting to the matches.
Well, it really doesn't matter. I mean, if there's no crowd in attendance, then if you win a championship that's supposed to mean a whole lot to you, then it's kind of worthless. It's meaningless.
Yeah.
Because with no crowd, who's going to talk about it in the long
run? I guess you're right. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what they try to do. Hopefully they make this work. I am really worried about WrestleMania. I really hope they make WrestleMania work. They're going to do their best, I guess. Next up, we have the NXT Women's Title match, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. What's your thoughts?
Charlotte's going to be the one winning. She always wins at WrestleMania.
Is she undefeated? No, she's not. She lost.
Well, she lost last year, but she won an incredible amount of WrestleManias. And I still look back at the controversial finish between her and Asuka at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was controversial. Asuka should have won that match. I agree. I think Charlotte Flair is going to win and become champion, even though I think most people want Rhea Ripley to win. I feel like SummerSlam. Do you think SummerSlam's just going to be a WrestleMania rematch show?
Very likely, because at least with SummerSlam, hopefully by July or August or whatever month it airs, that the crowd will finally be able to come back to wrestling and liven up the shows because we need the crowd.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Fatal Five-Way elimination match for the SmackDown Women's Title. Who's your money on?
I want to say Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see. Sasha has been praising Vince McMahon a lot lately. That may mean that she has a title around her waist soon, and it makes sense storyline wise. It's going to be good to see
because
Sasha Banks and Bayley.
Yeah, the Sasha Banks and Bayley feud should have been around for quite a long time.
Wait, I got a message from somebody. What's up?
Yeah, it looks like a television station.
I'm going to read that online. I'm going to read that. Unless people see that hey, no one steal my porn information. No, wrong one. Wrong porn information. What are they saying to me? Hey, Adam, thanks for reaching out. Oh, no, this was old.
Well, if it's a recent date.
I sent this a long time ago. They're just now. I already sent this. Oh,
And this was
CC guidelines. They must have sent me it twice. Oh, they must have they didn't know that I already got the email, and so they sent it again in hopes that I'd reach back out. I guess that's fine. We'll figure something out with them. Anyways, guys, we may be doing a show live on the. Oh fuck! What happened to my stuff? Did I exit out of it? New. Oh, where'd the matches go? WrestleMania 30 matches update. Where'd my matches go? I'm trying to talk about WrestleMania. Damn it! Wanted to read that online. We're keeping it very potty, Ed Ray. Very potty episode. Obviously, there's video now. We are uploading the video onto YouTube as extra content for people who can watch and see the magic at work. So that's what we're doing. We're uploading the video. We're still on audio on all iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We are everywhere. Every freaking where. Anyways, I agree, Sasha Banks. Next up, we have the Raw Tag Team titles. Angel Garza no. This is wrong. This wasn't updated, huh?
Andrade has just been pulled due to an injury.
Yeah, who'd they replace with him?
Wish I could tell you.
No, it's an NXT person. Fuck. It's actually a new NXT person. Raw Tag. Oh shit. No. Why is it trying to do that to me? Okay, look, it was there. Okay. Raw Tag title WrestleMania NXT. Where is it? Why aren't they updating this stuff like they're supposed to? Like nothing's being updated. Nothing's being fucking updated. But the NXT guy, Austin Theory. Okay, apparently, who's Brock Lesnar's manager?
Paul Heyman.
Apparently, Paul Heyman sees something in Austin Theory, and so they called Austin Theory up from the NXT. I think Austin Theory has been in NXT for maybe like a month, maybe a month or 2 months. And Paul Heyman sees something in him, and he pulled some strings and got him called up to the main roster to be in this tag championship match for Mania. So we have Angel Garza and Austin Theory versus the Street Profits. Who's gonna win this match?
I'm gonna have to say Garza in Theory.
I know. I think they're gonna have him win just because it's thrown together and to make it like, oh look.
Well, not to mention Garza and Theory have charisma, while Street Profits are just a bunch of jokes.
Are they jokes?
Yes, they are.
Who's better, Street Profits or Crime Time?
Crime Time, because they had charisma.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I thought you were going to say that.
I mean, you remember JTG and his match with Santino Marella where he oversold the Cobra?
Yes. Yes. They were great. You know what? Yeah. That's why I was watching Crime Time. They were like with the Godfather or somebody at one of these WrestleManias. I was watching WrestleMania, an old one. Crime Time was in it, and I was like, man, Crime Time was so fun. They were so fun to watch. It sucks that the Usos have stolen their gimmick. The Usos have stolen Crime Time's gimmick. But I do miss Crime Time quite a bit. I miss them. I think they could have made a decent faction with R-Truth at some point. I think R-Truth could have made a pretty good faction with Crime Time. That's just my opinion. Okay, next up we have the Intercontinental title match: Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn. This is a dream match for some people. For a lot of these, smart marks, this is a dream match.
This would easily be the match of the night if there was a crowd at WrestleMania.
I
So
know.
this is a huge injustice that they're wrestling in front of no crowd.
I know. This is pretty insane. Before the IC title,
if there is anybody that could bring prestige to the Intercontinental title, it's Daniel Bryan.
I mean, it looks like Braun Strowman just isn't getting his rematch. Is that what happened? He didn't get a rematch?
No, he didn't, and he deserves no rematch because of that stupid thing he said on social media.
Oh my goodness. You gotta separate a TV show for the real people. So who'd you say was gonna win this, Bryan or Sami Zayn?
Oh, I'm going with Daniel Bryan because there's no way Daniel Bryan cannot win this title because this is a very important thing for him.
No, I think his partner turns on him and he loses. Who's his friend that's exploiting the weakness? They had a really good match at Chamber.
Drew Gulak.
Yes, I think Drew Gulak turns on Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan loses, and it's gonna continue the feud with him and Drew Lack. Or maybe Drew Lack accidentally screws Daniel Bryan over, but they'll later find out that he's really a jerk off. It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen in some way like that, where they build up this where Daniel Bryan and him and Drew Lack, they're still gonna be buddies or whatever, even though he screwed over the IC title match. But we'll see. I think I'm going with Sami Zayn. I'm gonna say they're gonna keep the title on Sami Zayn. Other than that 5-way elimination match, I think most of these championships are being kept on the champions. Except just about everybody. Even Ray, I'm gonna say Ray. I'm changing my vote to Ray Ripley. I think all the champions retain except for the elimination match. And that's it. So then we have a triple threat ladder match. But the Miz apparently sick. It might have coronavirus. So the Miz,
the Miz is the reason why Roman Reigns pulled out of WrestleMania.
Yeah, so
because he showed up to work sick, and Roman Reigns has a compromised immune system.
So this may be a triple threat. This might be a triple threat singles match for the tag team titles. What would you think about that? What would you think about John Morrison versus one Uso versus one New Day member?
Well, I've seen this before, in a ladder match on Raw in 2003 when Kane and I think the Hurricane or somebody else was his tag team champion, but his tag team partner, but Kane's partner was out of commission. So he ended up wrestling the ladder match against many other tag teams on his own.
Oh,
and he ended
really?
up winning it. So it is possible that Morrison could win this match on his own.
I think this would be the big push for Morrison. I mean, Morrison just came back. They've kind of lost a bunch. They're not really doing that hot on TV matches. They won a few matches, and then right when they become champions, they then start losing all their matches. So what's up with that? But I think John Morrison, they were saying they were going to make a triple threat singles competition where just one of each member is in the match. But if it's only John Morrison versus two tag teams, and then John Morrison wins, that puts John Morrison over so freaking good, especially coming back, and it's going to put him over. And if they have a good, God knows John Morrison and Kofi Kingston, especially John Morrison and Kofi Kingston, can make this ladder match special for what it is in front of no audience. this ladder match. I think the ladder match is going to be hard to beat as far as match of the night if they do it proper. It's hit or miss, right? Because the Usos are kind of the Usos are kind of stale. They're kind of boring. They're kind of they're very super kick oriented. They do like one move. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to just say that this is going to be. It's a hit or miss. This could be the match of the night, or it could be, passable. So yeah, I'm gonna go with John Morrison winning as well. Did you say John Morrison?
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have the women's tag titles: Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka and Kairi Sane. What's your thoughts?
I'm gonna have to say the Kabuki Warriors because Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, they're not good as tag team specialists.
Yeah.
I mean, Alexa Bliss is a lousy babyface, and Nikki Cross has potential, but she's being buried by doing this tag team match.
Yeah. I feel like Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross just aren't that great as a tag team, but they're good. They're good solos. Alexa
Yeah,
Bliss.
I mean, Nikki Cross has a whirlwind of potential as a single star, but WWE constantly buries her.
And Alexa Bliss is she's a solid heel. And I don't know why she was once the top female heel of the company, wasn't she not? Wasn't she like the top female heel battling against babyface Nia Jax? I mean, what's up? What's up with that? But
Speaking of Nia Jax, I heard she could be returning this year.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be good to see a Nia Jax return. But yeah, I think we're gonna stick with the champions retaining this Mania. I think we're not gonna see that many, if any. We're not gonna see that many, if any, title changes at this year's Mania. I think the money, the bread and butter are actually going to be these specialty matches that we're going to talk about right now. Last man standing match, Edge versus Randy Orton. Now they've already said that. Now this match might take place off site because they said that a lot of the specialty matches and matches with stipulations won't take place at the Performance Center. So I think the last man standing match might actually take place off site, maybe at I think they were filming some matches over in a field or something, on like a football field and whatnot. This is like Edge versus Randy Orton is one of the it's the best built match on the card, I think. This is the only the Edge versus Randy Orton is the only match that's really been built up, and it's a last man standing. It's almost disappointing that it's last man standing. I kind of wish it was a regular match, but with that being said, last man standing will be it's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be fun. Who's winning this, Ed Ray?
I'm gonna say Randy Orton.
No.
Because Edge doesn't have that many years left to wrestle, and Randy Orton still has plenty in the tank.
In the back of my head, I feel like Randy Orton could win. In the back of my head, I feel like they might, only because Edge has he signed a temporary, or not a temporary, but like a couple matches a year contract. And with that being said, yeah, Edge could easily lose and then not show up for a while and then come back SummerSlam. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if Randy Orton loses, then he loses his heat. And he needs to have his heat in order to get over.
Oh, man, I hate saying that. I hate it. I hate it, Ed Ray. Okay, fine, Ed Ray. Randy Orton is going to beat Edge at WrestleMania. But I think Edge. I think it's gonna be shenanigans. I think Edge is gonna get a pretty good beatdown on Randy Orton most of the match. I think Randy Orton comes out of nowhere with the RKO out of nowhere, and then he does some kind of shenanigans that a lot of last man standing matches have been doing lately, where like they tip tables over on people, or they fucking handcuff people so they can't get up. I think it's going to end in a shenanigans type of way if Randy Orton wins. I think if Edge wins in legit, where he just knocks Randy Orton out, maybe with a concerto. Randy Orton could do the concerto to Edge. That could happen. Get the 10 count. See, and that's why I pulled back from saying that triple threat would be the match of the night, because I think Edge and Randy Orton, I think it will be match of the night. I think Edge versus Randy Orton is going to be match of the night. That's going to be good match. Next up, we have the Boneyard match. We have Big Evil Undertaker versus AJ Styles. Who are you picking?
Oh, it's got to be the Undertaker.
Yes, I do think it's the Undertaker. I think there's some speculation. There's been some rumors that Michelle McCool might come in and hit AJ Styles with her finisher move, which is very similar to, which is basically the Styles Clash, but it's called the Faith Breaker. And they think Michelle McCool might help Undertaker win the match. What do you think about that?
Well, it'd be a cathartic ending to a feud that isn't as good as I expected it to be.
It's not that good, you said?
It's not really that good. I mean, name dropping people's real names and stuff like that. I mean, how's that supposed to get heat?
Because it's real. It's a real life feud. Because WWE forgot to mention the Leigh McCool tag team in the best women's tag team. And it's all AJ Styles.
So basically, this is Undertaker's FU to WWE, huh?
Is it? It might be. No, but I think this is like a weird way to incorporate Michelle McCool into Undertaker's life, because they never mentioned they've never mentioned Michelle McCool until literally recently. So I think the whole Michelle McCool thing and Undertaker mad at WWE, I think that's all a gimmick, and that's all playing into this storyline.
So basically, this storyline is to honor Michelle McCool and bury AJ Styles at the same time. Nice.
Yo, yeah, they're saying that the Boneyard, because this is a Boneyard match. Nobody knows what that is. So a lot of people are thinking it's gonna be a buried alive match, but inside of a cemetery. So instead of like a buried alive match at the Performance Center, it's gonna be at a legitimate cemetery. And they think that that Michelle McCool, because you can't have a buried alive match without interference. So I think Michelle McCool is going to come in and hit AJ Styles with the Faith Breaker and help Taker, old man Undertaker, roll AJ Styles, and the Click. Is that the Click? Whoever's his
the OC.
The OC, and roll the OC into the grave. What do you think about that? Would that be a good ending if Michelle McCool and Undertaker beat AJ Styles and AJ Styles goons?
Yeah, it'd be a perfect way for the Undertaker to retire after the match is over.
Oh, with his wife? That would be good. That would be a good way for him and his wife to end things like that. Anyways, so we think Undertaker's winning. Next up, we have these thrown together matches we're going to go through. These last three. Elias versus King Corbin. Why even have this match? This match is so random. Is it because they were going to...
This feud is so random. I mean, it makes no sense.
Well, I think it's because they want to have Elias at Mania, but then everyone complained that John Cena was going to face Elias. They're like, why even do it? And so when they put John Cena with the Fiend,
This is going to be the worst match of the night.
Elias versus King Corbin, it makes no sense.
Just like Bobby Lashley versus Aleister Black makes no sense.
Well, but the thing with Bobby Lashley and Aleister Black, they need Bobby Lashley to be doing something. And then Aleister Black, he's doing that whole angle where he's like, oh, I need someone tougher. And then Bobby Lashley just came off of like the feud with Rusev winning.
Unless Brock Lesnar interferes and decides to cause Lashley to his match with Aleister Black, I don't see any interest in the match.
I know. It's hard to I kind of want Bobby Lashley to win. I kind of want Bobby Lashley to win, and maybe Aleister Black's like, oh no, whatever, what can I do? Aleister Black was considered, but before they picked Drew McIntyre, Aleister Black was the one considered to go against Brock Lesnar at Mania,
and that would have been a good match.
It is what it is. I think Bobby Lashley's going to win. No, I think Aleister Black's going to win, but I think Bobby Lashley should win. Because I think Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg, or Bobby Lashley versus... See, they should have picked Bobby Lashley to face Goldberg. So they could do spear versus spear still. Because even though Bobby Lashley had to take away the spear, he's doing the Dominator again. But Bobby Lashley could have replaced Roman Reigns so we could still have spear versus spear. And then everybody wants Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg or Bobby Lashley versus Lesnar. So if they do not build Bobby Lashley versus one of those two to SummerSlam, I mean, they are wasting Bobby Lashley. Because that's all people want. They want Bobby Lashley, the fucking UFC guy, the undefeated. Because Bobby Lashley's only lost in MMA due to cheating. Because people kicked him in the dick. Like, people like call him out. They're like, "Oh, dude, you kicked Bobby Lashley in the dick and you beat him. Like, how's that fair?" And then I think points, but he's not. He's never lost. Bobby Lashley has never lost MMA clean. So I think that's just one of those things. They want to see Bobby Lashley go against these fighter guys, man, these big dudes. They want to see him go against Goldberg, and they want to see him go against Brock Lesnar. I think they're wasting. It's the second time they've had Bobby Lashley, and it's the second time they're wasting him. And it really pisses me off, Ed Ray. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a Bobby Lashley mark, and I want them to fucking push him into the matches that we want to see him in. Jeez. Do you have any comments or thoughts on Bobby Lashley in general?
WWE needs to go ahead and pull the trigger by having Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar.
I know.
At least it's SummerSlam if Brock Lesnar is going to lose the title to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania.
I know. It just makes no damn fucking sense, dude. Maybe they can give Bobby Lashley the Royal Rumble win next year. Maybe they give him a Royal Rumble win. I don't know. Anyways, the final match we're going to discuss is Otis versus Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, the feud that ruined an incredible storyline.
How?
It's a cliched feud involving a text that Otis took out of context, and I don't know, the whole love story between Otis and Mandy Rose, it was pretty damn good up until that point, and now this is supposed to be a love triangle in 2020. We've seen enough of those.
Oh my goodness! But this one's crazy. So do you think they're gonna pull a Chris Jericho versus Christian?
Yeah, possibly by having Mandy Rose side with Dolph Ziggler and screw over Otis.
Well, no. Mandy Rose is walking. She's going to be in Dolph Ziggler's corner. They've already confirmed that she's in Ziggler's corner.
Yeah, well.
So I think, what if they give Otis? What if they make it a happy? What if they have Mandy Rose turn on Ziggler and go with Otis and help Otis get the victory over Ziggler?
It would be good to see Otis and Mandy Rose back together, but that love story is pretty much dead in the water at this point, especially after Otis got buried at Elimination Chamber.
He didn't get buried. He went through a fucking cave. Like he was the highlight of the men's rumble. I mean, the men's chamber.
Yeah, but Otis and Tucker did not defeat the tag team champions.
It don't matter. They were the highlight. They got over in the match.
Yeah, but then the crowd died when Tucker got pinned.
Exactly. That means they're still over. That means all they cared about was Otis and Tucker. That means Otis and Tucker are still they're still hot. They're still hot. And people wanted this match anyways. People wanted Otis versus Ziggler at fucking on Chamber. so
it's 1 month too late.
I know it. They did book this. They booked this match a little too late, but it is what it is. So Ed Ray, based on the card, this card is awesome. I mean, the card is awesome, but it's so weird because there's not going to be any fans. Is that?
That's why it's a heartbreaker. That's why it's going to be so hard to watch.
And the build, and what sucks is like the matches on paper look good, but there was no build up to half of these, or three-fourths of these had no build up. And so it's
That's
just
why you cannot have a 2-day WrestleMania or a WrestleMania that totals 8 hours.
No. Well, I think it's gonna be 6 hours total. 3 hours Saturday, 3 hours Sunday.
They need to shorten it back to 3 hours in general, like in 1998.
But then they'll lose their stars to AEW if they shorten it, because then they can't put everybody in Mania.
Yeah, but the WWE wrestlers aren't getting paid as much as they would be paid.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's what Braun Strowman was saying, that they're not being paid the right amount or whatever without the fans, of the merch sales and all that good jolly good stuff. Oh boy, Ed Ray, WrestleMania is crazy. We did a lot, Ed Ray. Today, me and you, we ranked Stone Cold Steve Austin's matches, and then we gave our predictions for WrestleMania 36, which is this Saturday, this Sunday. We will be live streaming the events, and talking and chatting and drinking, having fun, doing the Zoom stuff. I think this was good fun. This was a good, fun wrestling chatting episode, Ed Ray. Thank you, and thank you for sharing your opinions. Because your opinions are fine. It's all fine. Because all we have here are opinions and Stone Cold Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA beer. Okay.